All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove your deck, how to sharpen your blades, balance the blades, and put the deck back on. And if you don't have to sharpen your blades, you can just skip that portion. I'll put something down in the timeline so you can see where you're at in the video. This should work for the Cub Cadet Ultima ZT2 or the ZT1. And it does not matter if you have the fabricated deck or the stamped deck. All right, first I'm going to go over some of the tools that I'm going to use. You may want a pair of gloves, a 3/8 inch socket, or you could probably just use a wrench if you want. I'm going to use a pair of needle nose pliers, a flap disc on a grinder, and I will put some of this stuff down in the description if you do not have everything. I'm going to use a speed clamp. You may want some eye protection and some hearing protection. All right, I will also be using a 15/16 inch socket to take off the blades, and I will be using my torque wrench to torque the nuts back on. You do not have to use this, but if you do have a torque wrench, I'll let you know the torque setting. And I'm going to use this blade balancer to balance my blades, because you can't use the old way of putting a screw in the side of your workbench. I'll show you that when I take these blades off. I'll also be using this multi-tool right here. There's a socket on one side, and we're also going to be using this to lock the deck in place. Pull that out with your hands. That will come off. Sit right there. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do is we're going to want to lower the deck all the way down to the 1 inch mark. You're going to push on the pedal and rotate your dial down to 1 inch. Right there, then lower down. All right, now that my deck is all the way on the ground, I'm going to be using my multi-tool. We're going to stick it right in this hole right here. That's going to lock this spring arm right here, so there's no way this can snap closed and pinch our fingers. All right, next step is I'm going to remove this spindle cover right here with my 3/8 inch socket, or if you have a wrench, there's a bolt right here, and one back here. Take that off. Take your 3 little bolts, stick it in your cover, just set that aside. Now while you got this off, you can also be checking out your pulleys, check out your belt, maybe clean out some of this grass that's under here. Next step is I'm going to take this belt off. We're going to take it off this spindle right here. I'm going to pull on this idler pulley right here. Now if you're a beast, maybe you can just grab a hold of that and pull on it. I am going to take a 9/16 inch socket. I know I didn't show you that in the beginning. Put a 9/16 inch socket on that, and it's going to make pulling that idler pulley 100 times easier. So just pull on that. Hopefully it doesn't loosen that nut up. And take this belt off. And let go slowly. Now before you start taking this off your PTO pulley in the back, take a quick glance in under here and just take note to how that belt was run. It pretty much goes around here. You can see this. These pulleys are flat, so it's going to have the back of the belt on them. And then you got that. This deck has 3 blades, so that's another spindle there with a blade under it. And I have one way over there also. All right, now with the blade removed off of here, I can go to the back or remove it off the PTO pulley. Right. There we go. All right, now to give me a little bit more room, I'm going to take these wheels. We're going to spin them toward the front. Now get your needle nose pliers. All I have left is 3 pins. I got this bow tie pin. Just grab the hold of that with your needle nose pliers and pull up on it and out. See, that's how it is. I'll take this pin out. I'll take your pin and your cotter pin. Just lay that right up here on your deck. You should be able to mess around with your little lift here a little bit and it should stay up. Now just go to the other side, take this cotter pin out. Take this pin out. Sometimes you might have to pick up on your deck a little bit. There. Take them two, that pin and cotter pin, just lay it up there so you don't lose it. Now all we got left is the one pin in the front. It's this arm right here that comes down in the front. There you go. Now that should just push ahead. We got the front pin here and the right and left over here. The right and left pin are the exact same pin. The front pin is a little smaller, just in case you do get them mixed up. All right, now that I removed the belt off the PTO pulley in the back, remove my 3 pins, we should be ready to pull this deck out. Now if you have a stamped deck, it's probably going to weigh a lot less. If you have a deck that looks similar to this one, it's probably going to be a little bit heavier. But it should pull right out. All right, now that I got my deck out, I'm going to flip it up on its side and take the blades off. Then I'm going to clean the deck and we'll get the deck put back on. This is kind of what it looks like if you mow your grass when it's wet. You definitely don't want to let all this grass stay up underneath your deck. Right after you're done mowing, you might want to try to clean this out. If you leave all this grass under here like this, your deck is going to hold all that moisture in and it is going to rust out. Let me get these blades off. I'll show you 2 different ways that I can take these blades off. And then I will have the torque setting if you want to torque these back on. All right, some really fancy tools. I'm going to use a stick, maybe a piece of wood, to try to get some of this grass out from under this deck. By using this, I don't have to worry about scratching this nice new deck up. All right, I got some of this cleaned off, and I will continue cleaning this, and I'll get back with you. But first, I'm going to show you how I can take off these blades. Now this blade, we're going to take this nut off, you know, lefty-loosey, so it's going to spin like this. You can put a board in there, and take your socket, get a bigger breaker bar. Now also watch the way you take these blades off. Some of these you can put these on upside down. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to put this on upside down if you have these exact same blades. Just check these blades out before you take them off so you know how to put them back on. Like these blades here, there's a little lip here. And sometimes the blades will say this side down or grass side on them. So just so you know how to put these back on. Just in case the blades you guys have, you could put them upside down because it's going to be a little bit hard to cut your grass if your blades are upside down. Now this one would be, you could stick a 2x4 there and it will spin and hit like that. This one, maybe stick a board here, let it hit like that to take that one off. Now if you only have 2 blades, yours may be a little bit different, but that's how you can use a 2x4. Or you can get an impact wrench. Just take them off. Should have hearing protection on. All right, let me continue cleaning this deck off. Then I'm going to show you how I sharpen the blades and balance these blades. And at the end, I'll show you how to put this deck back on. Hope my bald head's not going to blind you. I apologize in advance. All these decks do have a washing port, and I don't know if they work. They don't work 100%, but if you would use it every single time you mow, use that washing port, I think it would help keep this deck cleaned out a little bit. Now, if you've never used one of them, I'm just going to tell you real quick. You attach your hose on it. You put this, go on like your driveway if you have like a paved driveway. If you don't have a paved driveway, not sure where you're going to go. I don't know. Be real careful if you don't have a paved driveway, because I'm going to tell you if you have a paved driveway, you're going to go in your paved driveway, drop this deck all the way down to the ground, turn your hose on, then run your blades and let it go for maybe a few minutes. And that should hopefully help keep some of this cleaned out. Be careful with the washing port thing is right here. If you're looking under your deck on the right side, you can see it on the top. But I think it's plastic, so just be careful smacking around. All right, I got the deck cleaned up a little bit. It's not 100%, but I'd say it's 99% better than what it was. Now I'm going to show you how I sharpen and balance these blades. All right, I have an 80 grit flap disc on here. You could also probably use a 120 grit flap disc on your grinder. And I'll put some of these down in the description, the exact same ones that I bought. It comes with a couple different grits. But this is how I sharpen my blades. I just clamp them down like this on my workbench. And then I'll run my flap disc right along the blade here and sharpen this up. And I do my best to try to keep this exactly at that same exact angle. And then I'll clean this up. Then I'll take it over on my balancer and check it for balance. You could also probably just take a little wire brush and clean these up. Can't leave all that grass on there because it won't be that easy to balance these. Flip it over to the other side. Careful you don't cut your finger on your blade, because if it's like mine, it's pretty sharp. All right, let me sharpen the other side of this blade, and I'll show you how to balance it on my balancer. All right, now it's time to balance these blades, and I'll show you why you cannot put a screw in the side of your workbench and balance these. Because on both sides of these, where I would try to hang my screw would be right here, and I can't hang my screw on that spot, or if I flip it over, I can't hang it on that spot. So that's where blade balancer comes in handy. So I'll just put this on here, pull this magnet in, check to see if it's balanced. I'm going to say these blades are pretty balanced. I guess it could go a little bit that way. All right, now if this side over here would keep going down like that, I would have to take it back to the bench and sharpen this side a little bit more just to take some off, because that side would be heavy. Or same thing if this side here went down, I'd just sharpen that side a little bit more. Now these blades do say grass side, so this side would be facing the grass. I figured most blades will say something like that on them. All right, let me sharpen the other two blades for the bottom of that deck. And I will get my torque wrench out, torque these on, and we'll get that deck back on. All right, I got all three blades sharpened up. Now, if you do have a torque wrench, I looked in the manual, it is 80 to 100 foot-pounds if you have a stamped deck. This deck here is not the stamped deck. This is the fabricated deck. So it says 100 to 120 foot-pounds if you have the fabricated deck. I guess if you have stamped or fabricated, if you just stick with 100 foot-pounds, you'll be good to go. That's that one. Like I said, these blades do say, yeah, it says right here, grass side. Another thing when you're putting these on, make sure that star is lined up. Because I'm sure I could try to put this on when the star is not lined up and still torque that nut down. Then your blade's going to get loose. Or your blade may loosen up if you put it on like that. So just make sure they're laying flat. All right, it's time to slide this thing back under here. Make sure both of your lifting arms are still up. what we're going to do. We're going to line these lifting arms up. I'm going to go on the other side. Line that one up a little bit. All right, these right here, these lifting arms are going to go on this oblong hole here. So if you get back over here and you're wondering, geez, how did that go back in? This has to do with leveling your deck. So that pin's just going to go through there, underneath that, and out the other side. Put that pin in. You might have to pick up a little with your deck. If you have a stamped deck, it's probably going to be a little easier. There. You may have to pick up quite a bit depending on how much that bolt is down in. That should go on there. There. Just like that. Now let's go to the other side. If you're pushing that in, it doesn't seem to want to go in. It's because you're going to have to lift your deck up. Like I keep saying. There. Clip in. Like that. Now all we got is the front one. Put your clip in. Just like that. Now that we got the deck all hooked back up under, I'm going to look under there and see if my belt is on all them pulleys. All right, the first place we're going to put this belt back on is on that PTO pulley that's in the back of the mower. Just like that. Now I want to look. Looks like it's on everywhere else. All right, now I'm going to do that same little trick that I did. Just make sure that nut doesn't spin. But you shouldn't have to pull that hard. If that nut comes off that easy, you better tighten it up. There. Just like that. Now I'm going to put this spindle cover back on. 3 little bolts. Make sure you kind of start them by hand. You don't want to strip them out. Now when you tighten these little bolts up, you don't got to get real crazy on them. It's just holding this plastic cover on. I just don't want you to strip that out. There we go. All right, the last step is make sure you take out that multi-tool that I had in there for safety. Should be right here. Or you're going to have trouble lifting your deck up. And we'll put it back in place right here. All right, now I'm going to make sure the deck goes up and down correctly. Then I recommend starting your mower up, take it out in your driveway or out in your grass, and start the blades up, see if everything works correctly. Well, I hope this video helped you out. Please leave me a comment down below. I really like reading all them comments. And I plan on having about 3 or 4 more other videos on this same lawnmower. Hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. God bless and have a great day.